everybody, welcome back to another video. This video is a yearly video that I do on this channel. This is going to be the third year in a row that I've done it. This is my 2021 reading list. I have done this in 2020 and in 2019, and I am learning a lot about myself through this process. Like, for one, I am learning that I get distracted very easily and tend to not finish my reading lists. Do you want to be in the video? Say hi to the people. A link to the 2019 and 2020 reading lists will be in the description box below, but just for a quick recap of my 2020 reading list, these were all of the books that I had set aside to read in 2020, and of all of these, I finished these. Surprised by Hope was a book I just needed to finish reading in 2020 because I had already started it in 2019. The Hunchback of Notre Dame I thoroughly enjoyed. I made 3 videos dedicated to this book. And then these 3 books are Sue Grafton books in a series that she has for every letter of the alphabet. If you want to know a bit about these and the descriptions of each book, then you can check out my halfway point video that I made back in June, where I talked about basically all of the books that I've completed reading at that point, which unfortunately 6 months ago that list was the same books that it is for the end of the year that I've completed reading. I was doing really well the first half of 2020, and the second half just got real crazy, and I did not finish a single book the remainder of the year. Dan and I moved to a different state. We bought a house. We went through that whole process. We got kittens. We got a dog, which you saw. So it was a very hectic second half of our year, which isn't a great excuse because I definitely wasted a lot of time that I could have spent being more productive in reading. I just didn't. So for 2021, I want to finish the 3 different books that I started reading in 2020, and I want to try reading a handful more. Well, hi kitten. You're a very bookish kitten. Do you want to read with me? Hi, Lambo. I'm just being attacked by animals while I'm trying to film this video. I don't usually sit here. This is usually where your bed is. So for 2021, I have a total of 7 books that I want to try to get through, and honestly, I make these videos because it helps keep me accountable and it helps to keep me on track and trying to stay on track as best as I can. The first 3 books are actually books that I started and just haven't finished yet. So that would be Sue Grafton's K is for Killer, which I am probably 2 chapters into, but I don't anticipate not being able to finish this. Next up is Oliver Sacks' Awakenings, which I am probably a solid 1/3 or more through. And this one also I am very excited to finish because I've spent probably a solid month just focusing on reading this book, and it's absolutely fascinating. And then also, a book that was not on my reading list at any point, but I did talk about a bit on my 6-month check-in that I did back in June, is Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Children, Television, and Fred Rogers. This one has also been a really good read so far, so hopefully when I do a 2021 halfway point check-in video, all 3 of these will be done and I can tell you all about them. Moving on to the 4 new books that I want to read for this year. The first one is Kathy Reich's Bare Bones. This is a murder mystery book. I have a few books by Kathy Reichs. I have not read any of them yet, but for those of you who aren't familiar with Kathy Reichs, she is the author of the book series that inspired the TV show Bones. So I have collected a handful of her books, and I decided I'm finally going to read one. So I don't have any more of my Sue Grafton books on this list because I want to go into a different murder mystery. Next up is MASH by Richard Hooker. This book I got for Christmas from Dan, and for those of you who know me, you probably know I thoroughly enjoy the TV series MASH. I grew up watching that TV show. I've seen the first movie that inspired the TV show, and I've seen, the ending movie. And it wasn't until fairly recently that I realized it was a book first. I didn't know that, or if I did know that, I had forgotten that. So Dan got me the book for Christmas, so I am excited to read this. I have read that this book is not that much like the TV series, so I'll be very curious to read it, see what characters are the same, like name-wise, and see how things changed from this book and the focus of this book to the first movie to the TV series. And then I wanted to read kind of a classic book, and this is Fahrenheit 451. It's, from what I have read, it's kind of a like dystopian type book where the storyline is like books are outlawed, I think. Like you're not allowed to read. I've not done a lot of research. I don't know that much about the book. That's why I'm gonna read it. I saw that they made a movie out of this. I think they made a movie out of it. I haven't seen it, but if I do ever watch it, it'll be after I read the book. And last we have an autobiography of So Anyway by John Cleese. John Cleese is one of the Pythons for Monty Python. So they did Monty Python and the Holy Grail. They did the whole Monty Python and the Flying Circus. They did The Life of Brian. They did a lot of stuff. And John Cleese then also he's been in a ton of other movies and done voiceovers for a ton of stuff. But this is his autobiography. This book covers basically his life from childhood leading up to where his life with like the Pythons and Monty Python and all of that starts. So this book doesn't actually get into any of his time after Monty Python began, everything leading up to that. I'm fairly confident he's writing like a part 2 to this to cover all of that, but this book does not cover all of that. This is all pre-Python. Dan has read this book already. I think other family members have read it. I don't remember or not. Or I think we're supposed to pass it on to other family members after we've read it, so maybe I'll read this one fairly soon so I can pass it along. This one I actually put on my 2019 reading list, and I did not get to it. So I am very excited to start this book. So this is the stack of books I'm going to attempt to read in 2021. Now that I am not going to be spending months on end attempting to buy a home, hopefully I will be able to make this happen. We shall see. I will keep you guys updated in my vlogs that I post every week, and also once I do my halfway point checkup in June. Let me know in the comments if you have read any of these, if any of these sound interesting and you want to read them or want to know anything more about them. And also if you have any suggestions of books you think I would really enjoy reading based on these videos that I've made and books that I have read in the past. But that does it for this video. I hope you guys have had a great day, and I will see you in the next one.